There's this quote I saw the other day that was like, speaking positive affirmations into a mirror only gets you so far. Real confidence comes from, like results of you having that confidence that you have a track record of what you've done. And I started to build that track record of working with people, developing myself, collaborating with other producers that I hadn't really done as much before. And as I grew to be more comfortable in that space, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm him, baby him.
I like that. You spoke on collaborations. Like, you've done several collaborations, even on production side. But is there a specific collaboration that stuck with you the most that I want to say like opened your mind up?
Okay, so there's two. One is an artist by the name of Manesi. And he's an amazing singer. Yeah. That's my brother right there. Working with him has given me a total new dynamic. If you're a fan of Questlove, D'Angelo, like you've heard things like Questlove say, like, man, D'Angelo changed how I heard harmony, how I thought about harmony. That is exactly what happened with Manesi. So working with him changed my musical palette, my vocal ability. And then there's Matt Hennessy. Okay. The engineer, like collaborating with him, he's giving me the freedom to learn and grow, and use his equipment. When we have mixing sessions together, like he'll let me get in the seat and drive, and I'm asking questions about, like, what does this do? Why are you doing this? Why are you processing things a certain way? So his grace and his ability to teach me really changed a lot. And that was a different type of collaboration.
And, I got a collaboration loaded up that features you from Dash Tone. You and Manessa as well. We gonna actually break down how you three came together and put this record together for everybody.
Me and Manessa, we've been locked in tight. You know what I'm saying? Together forever. And the collab with Dash Tones came about because I met him at a SoFar, and I don't know if me and Manessa met him the same night, but he saw me perform. He was like, "Man, we should do something." Went to the studio. I think I wrote that verse like on the spot, or no, actually I lied. I wrote that in the car. He sent me the beat after the session, and came in and recorded. That was that. Did the video. You got the song now.
Whew. Look, that takes talent to write on the spot as well. I mean, honestly, to be able to collaborate in general with others, it takes a lot, especially knowing that you have anxiety at times, in which we gonna chime in after the music break. So y'all don't go nowhere. It's Vocalo Radio. Now, previous to the break, throughout the conversation in general, we were talking about, like your style. We were talking about how multi-talented you are, some collaborations, the name change. And I heard you mention when we were talking about the name change that you don't really like to talk to people like that. You was like, I got to talk to all these people I really don't want to talk to. So would you consider yourself introverted?
Yeah. I think the word is ambivert, where it's like, I need to recharge myself, but I definitely do get energy and enjoy being around people and talking to people, as long as I'm not overstimulated. Overstimulation is usually where I'm overwhelmed.
Okay, well, and what's an example of what would be overstimulating for you?
Lollapalooza, the 400 cap show, something where it's just like a lot of people and I gotta rub shoulders or something like that. Like that just, damn near PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Like that just kind of gives me anxiety.
I mean, before I even speak on the anxiety too, I gotta say, people don't know this. I'm introverted, but you wouldn't be able to tell. So what you say? What you say?
I think the word is ambivert. I think I've seen that word on the internet.
Ambivert.
Where it's a mix of introvert and extrovert.
Well, if I'm not right by saying I'm ambiverted, look, Galaxy Francis said that. He quoted that, but I feel like I'm that way. Where at times I don't want to be bothered, but at times you have to. You feed off the energy of others, and speaking of like overwhelming. At these shows, or when you're out and about in a recording session and things of that nature, because you were speaking on anxiety, like how do you get over that hump of your anxiousness?
Starts with awareness and acknowledgement of what you're going through. Sometimes we push through that and we don't realize that that's what we're experiencing. Whether it's some people sweat, some people have shake a little bit, heart palpitations, or just muscle tightness, muscle cramps, things like that, or even racing thoughts. You know, we're just thinking a lot. Those are all symptoms of anxiety that we don't always recognize as that. So the first step is me recognizing what I'm experiencing, you know, and then from there, over time, I've developed, you know, coping mechanisms, ways to deal with that, whether that's breathing, whether it's managing my stress through supplements or yoga or just, you know, certain kind of diets. Some people, you know, have prescriptions. Some people have other ways to cope with it. Backwoods, you know what I'm saying?
Speak the truth, my brother, you know?
So I personally deal with it in that way where I acknowledge what I'm going through and I ask myself serious questions like, you know, can I continue my day with what I'm experiencing? If I can't, then I'm gonna have to change plans. But if I am able to continue, then, you know, like it's just something that I live with. It's not who I am.
What's worked best for you as far as, you know, your coping mechanism? Is it the backwoods?
No, actually, no. I feel like the older I've gotten, the more that triggers my anxiety. The more smoking does, just in general. So, talking. There's something that I'm learning now, or have been learning for the past couple of years. That is something that we have called the vagus nerve, which regulates, you know, part of our nervous system, and stimulating that. So the ways that I just mentioned, like, you know, yoga, stretching, meditation, those are all ways to stimulate the vagus nerve. But there are other ways that I need it a little bit quicker. Cold shower, you know, like things like that, stimulate it and kind of reset my stress levels. I just try to breathe. You know, there are certain breathing techniques that you can do. And I have affirmations or just things that I say to myself, like, you know, I am safe. If I am like having just some of those attacks, I just look around and just kind of feel where I'm at and just tell myself I am safe, I am loved, I am blessed, like I'm still here. You know, I actually have that tattooed on me, like I am here, you know, because that's something that you look down a lot. I feel like I look down a lot when I'm stressed.
And you look in the mirror a lot too, I'm pretty sure.
So, you know, I'm just trying to have that, trying to reassociate myself, you know, because there's disassociation from what you're going through and just trying to be present with my body. That's the way that works best for me.
I love how you mentioned cold showers. And the reason why I say that, because I recently started taking cold showers. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta fight it.
It hurts, bro. It hurts so much.
Yes, it do. But it's a relief. And it's a relief and release at the same time, because it do hurt. It's like, oh, but after you feel so much better, your muscles, like your brain activity, everything has more of like a free flow. So I'm happy you mentioned that. If you ain't took a cold shower in Chicago, try one.
Right. And here's another thing that not a lot of people may be comfortable saying. I cry. That is how I release stress. It's like I'm really going through something. I'll take that cold shower and be crying the whole time because I just need to let that out, and that's a totally human thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I love to hear it because they always, you know how society is. As a man, you can't cry, you can't do this. Shoot, if you need to let it out, let it out. Man. For real. And, you know, let's actually talk a little bit about your fan base, because you don't just call your fans supporters or fans. You call them space cadets.
Space cadets.
Is that due to the name?
The branding is just so consistent, man. Like it just flowed naturally. It wasn't something like that I thought of, but I'm just kind of like, I like to treat my life like improv. So I was just one day, Space Cadets, you know, and it makes sense.
It does.
You know, so.
It's very, very, very fitting for what you got going on. And I love your branding. I love your marketing. Like you've been, I want to say on the marketing side, you've been doing this for a minute. Like this ain't nothing new. How do you find new ideas and new creative ways to continue to not just market your music, but market yourself to a new reach?
The world is changing. The way we consume media is changing. So I'm always cognizant of that. I try to be honest with myself about what I enjoy and what I have the attention span for. And I really like film. I like good composition. I like good colors. I like a good photo. So all of that plays a part, and it just comes natural just to my likes and to my preferences.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. Sitting here talking to you and hearing how deep you think of things, I'm appreciative of it. I'm happy that, you know, as everybody knows, Chicago has a boiling pot field of talent, and it's great to be able to bring talent like yourself here to share your story. And, you know, speaking of Galaxy, you actually, I don't want to mess this word up, man.
Oh.
Like, you consider yourself to be like a galaxy that's near the Milky Way?
So I call myself, or one of my nicknames is Andromeda, you know, Andromeda Francis. Lower my tolerance, raise my standards.
Andromeda.
You know, shout out to Tone. And that's, you know, it's just another, I didn't want to call myself Milky Way. Like, I'm not competing with Snickers, you know what I'm saying? Like, Andromeda made sense. And what's funny is my partner right now, she sent me something, you know, about like starseed signs. You know how you like take personality tests and like there's zodiac, you know, mythology, for lack of a better word. There's something called starseed signs that's like, what galaxy are you from? And I took the test. Before I took the test, she was like, you know which one you are. You say it all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I take the test, and it's like, you're an Andromedan. And I'm like, you lying. Like, it just kind of like flowed. I was calling myself that before I even discovered that this was a thing. And the description of people from Andromeda, the idea of starseed type is like your spirit is from another galaxy. You know, if you like to entertain that stuff, it is empowering. But they're kind of like forward thinkers. They're creatives. They want to be free. Back to the Francis thing, you know. So it all just kind of like fell in line. I just feel like every day in every way I'm getting better and better.
How ironic is that, though?
It's well, we were just talking about, we live in a simulation. You know, we think about things and they just appear. And if you in tune, the alignment and synchronicity will be crazy.
It's all about that frequency we on, man. And you know, you put yourself on a crazy frequency with this single we premiered. We world premiered, which features Jay Wood. We gonna tap into that in just a second. But I want to also chime in on, you know, some upcoming things from you. Like, as far as, matter of fact, let me go back, because LA VanGogh was the past. Galaxy Francis is now. Is there still some type of relevance amongst the two?
Not really. You know, I feel like the brand is different, just more consistent. Obviously, I'll always have love for the run I did as LA VanGogh, but I feel like I've outgrown that. You know, what we talked about with the name, and even just as a brand, I feel like the music is elevated. You know, it is. It's more out of this world.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it just. And you consider yourself I can't even say it. Intergalactically known.
Intergalactically known.
I mean, like, that's probably why all these UFOs starting to make their way.
Look, I'm telling you, I told them to chill out. The single is coming out. They was rushing me. They heard it on Vocalo, and they're like, dog, I know the song is out there. Put it out. So it's out today. We know, or we hope that there will be no more UFOs.
They gonna, man, you know, you got that frequency, man. They hear it, they feel it.
Man, in space.
You got to break down the single, though, because again, you did let us exclusively premiere this record, and on your Twitter, you were also letting the Space Cadets be interactive.
Absolutely.
With choosing your next single. So yeah, break down The Shining for everybody.
Yeah, I thought that would be a fun thing to let people be a part of the releases. You know, I think we live in a time where we're told as artists, you know, release until that one single hits, and then you promote that one single. At least that's something that I've heard. And I'm like, why don't I just let the people that mess with me already pick the single, you know, and just kind of get everybody behind that. So The Shining is a song, I recorded the hook, made the beat in 2019, maybe. And I just kind of sat on it. I couldn't finish the verse. And then I came across Jay Wood. Him and I started to develop a relationship. He came through and laid a verse, and then I was inspired to finish my verse and even add that second part of the hook that's like, pose, lick. You know, I was like, it all just came together once I had somebody else to perform with, to collaborate with. And the song is basically an affirmation, you know, of just your own power. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels yellow. It feels like golden, you know, to me. Where and that's an empowering color to me. Okay. You know, if you into the chakras, like the solar plexus chakras.
So you see colors when you do things.
I imagine colors. I don't know if I like physically see them, but I imagine colorscapes. I imagine a video. I imagine the world that the song lives in, so to speak.
Well, before we get into the single, is there an upcoming project? I'm pretty sure people want to know.
There is. There actually is. There's I don't know if I can call it an EP on the way, but it's a step-by-step process. So we'll see how The Shining goes. give the people some more music and just keep releasing that way. And once it's time, we'll drop the whole project and all of the songs.
Well, you brought some Space Cadets with you, man. Give
got
your
Left
shout
Lane.
outs.
I got Left Lane with me, man.
Lane.
Shout out to Daylight Tone, man. Shout out to Lewis. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Bensky. Wait, there's two Benskys. Shout out to Bensky who did the cover art, and then shout out to Bensky who brought us through.
Shout out the whole Left Lane.
Shout out the whole Left Lane, man. Shout out Gig, KO, Johnny, Sam. Too many names to name. For real. Shout out to my smoosh, you know what's up. And yeah, I think that's all the shout outs I got. Thank you to you for having me. Definitely blessings for hosting the song and having us here, man. I'm definitely grateful for that.
Hey, I was going to say shout out to yourself because you've been out of this atmosphere type of conversation to have, my brother. Definitely appreciate you all taking time to slide. And most importantly, we at Vocalo, thank you for letting us premiere this song before it's released. It's out now, though. So if you don't know, you can Shazam this joint as I get into it so you can add it to your preferred playlist, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, whatever. And you can continue to listen in because we got that thing rotating. Give out your social media before we outro.
GalaxyFrancis.com. We'll have everything for you if you want one place to go. If you strictly on Instagram, TikTok, at Galaxy Francis, Twitter. There's some dude that hasn't tweeted in like 10 years that has Galaxy Francis, so I'm actually Galaxy on there. That's at actually Galaxy. But GalaxyFrancis.com got everything. Sign up for the mailing list. Whatever you feel inspired to do and how this song moves you, I definitely appreciate any engagement that y'all out there.